Hello, I am Julia Cedillo and honored to serve as Village Manager, where I am responsible for managing the day-to-day operations of the village and executing the policies and vision as set forth by the Village President and the Board of Trustees. Over the last year or so, two things influence the way that the village provides services. The first is the pandemic, and the second being significant legislation. The COVID-19 pandemic had sweeping effects on the way that we work, manage, and live our lives. With village operations, we enriched our systems to be more efficient. Technology enhancements allowed for services to transition online, such as payments and building permits, while new tech infrastructure is helping us streamline connectivity across departments and buildings and with our residents. For example, during the pandemic, the village received the most online communications from residents in our history. This change allowed us to coordinate a more efficient response process. If residents have a concern or a question, you can still call us, and a person will answer your call. But completing an online report of concern from our website's homepage can be just as effective. The pandemic affected nearly every household as children and adults learned and worked from home. This year, the village hosted a virtual wellness series in partnership with NAMI Metro to ensure that our community had access to mental health resources. While COVID is still with us, we are better positioned to handle its challenges. We are now well-versed in quickly updating protocols and policies to be able to continue service while keeping the public safe. We were able to do so, I think, because of our team-oriented staff and the dedicated leadership of the Village President and Board of Trustees. Additionally, in the most uncertain days of COVID, we benefited greatly from the invaluable intergovernmental conversations with the library, the park district, and the school districts, and our neighboring towns. In the last year or so, two major pieces of legislation affected our operations. Our focus was to be proactive in our approach to compliance for maximum benefit. For example, the Illinois Safety Act requires that we institute body-worn cameras on our officers. While this is an unfunded mandate, we embrace the change, and we are instituting it 2 years early because it enhances our level of transparency with the public. Also, the equipment and infrastructure required had us thinking more broadly about our technological needs in policing. We purchased new in-car video cameras that will be able to use the same data storage, and we will also install cameras in locations around the village at certain areas as well as on village property locations to enhance security and safety of operations. This legislation was extensive, and it required significant staff time to understand the implications as it relates to policies and training. Another piece of legislation is the Lead Service Line Replacement and Notification Act. The new Illinois law requires that we inventory and remove lead service lines for the health and safety of our community. We developed a process with our engineers to engage residents in identifying these lines so that we can be as proactive as possible. With the data in hand, we were able to update our 2017 water rate study and determine our needs moving forward. We are concerned about the insufficient funding for this mandate, but we are doing what we can to make our voice heard to secure adequate federal dollars. Tonight you will hear from village departments about progress in serving our residents. We have new equipment, new tools, and new technology, but we are also focused on capacity and working diligently there too. Public safety training is at an all-time high, and we are better prepared than ever before. We have added a supervisory position in the Public Works Department to better meet our infrastructure and maintenance needs. We added an intern to the Administration Department to assist with economic and community development demands. At the same time, 2 key employees left the organization, so we are in the process of onboarding our new finance director, Austin Hakey, who starts this December. We're really excited. And we will soon be advertising for a new building official while we bring in an interim position as well as additional consulting services until the position is filled. I am pleased to report that we have much development happening in our small village, and businesses want to locate here or expand, even though space is somewhat limited. The TIF districts and the business districts that were put into place in 2017 will help provide the resources that we need to reinvigorate our commercial areas. Each of our core service areas, we strive to be proactive and align projects with resources. We are developing the blueprints that we need to help us achieve our goals so that LaGrange Park sustains itself in being a thriving community. The village was careful to manage resources through the pandemic. This included securing grant awards to bring taxpayer dollars back to the community. The village completed 2 capital projects with significant grants: Meadowcrest paving with community development block grant funding, and the 3 paver intersections on Monroe with assistance from the MWRD. The intersection project will help mitigate the impacts of heavy rains in the central area of town. This project positions us well for the central area's sewer separation project, which is designed to move stormwater north from the central area to Salt Creek. We are preparing our application to the MWRD for shared funding. Beyond that, we are still working to secure all the funding that we need, but the designs are nearly shovel-ready. The village utilizes strategic planning to guide and plan for challenges. The village has 6 priorities as determined by the village board, with our top priority to maintain fiscal responsibility. In addition to our priorities, the President and Board of Trustees engage with legislators about issues that affect our community by traveling to Springfield annually and continuing the conversation locally. Village President Jim DeCipio was recently elected to the Board of Directors of the Illinois Municipal League so that our village is better able to represent our interests and the interests of all municipalities at the state level. I'd like to wrap up with a quick overview of the village. We are a full-service local government providing services through 6 departments. We have 42 full-time employees and 76 part-time employees, many of whom are paid on-call firefighters and residents. We also have a part-time elected village clerk, Megan Cooey, whose duties are prescribed by state law. Here is the list of village employees, and I think that they are the best around. The work that they do each day is great. Some you see and much more that you don't, but all in an effort to serve the community that they care about. The village's achievements are simply not possible without our volunteers who provide dedicated service. Here is a list of advisory groups that provide recommendations to the village board or have specific authority as determined by state law. We are grateful for their talent and service. They are excellent at what they do. Thank you to our community partners included in this evening's presentation. It is important to be mindful of one another's achievements and goals so that we are able to better anticipate challenges, look for opportunities, and forge ahead in the best manner for our community. Thanks so much for watching.